Hello, future self. I just wanted to document the things that I've been watching recently in the year of 2025 and over the past month as well, of the month of August, which is about to be over. Recently, as of I think 3 days ago, I finished Modern Family. It was 11 seasons. I'd been watching it since I think February of this year or March of this year, and it was absolutely amazing. I felt like I was part of the family. I felt so immersed in the atmosphere and the characters, and they felt so real. It felt like they weren't really acting. It was such an interesting show, and I hope I get to rewatch it later and reminisce on that time that I did watch it, or maybe even forget it and get to watch it all over again and just get the happiness from it. I watched it when I was sad sometimes, or mad, or angry, or coming home from a bad day, or even coming home from a good day. It would always boost my mood. I don't think there was ever an episode where I didn't laugh, or I didn't get emotional, or I didn't connect with the characters. Every single episode had so much quality written into it. And I loved the kind of tropes that they had throughout the start of the show with kind of like Phil talking about the broken step or staring into the camera sometimes, breaking that third wall. And there were so many characters in that show that you got to see grow up over the 11 seasons. Every season was filmed every year, so I think it was 11-year time span that it was filmed over. And so you get to see the kids grow up. You get to see the adults get older. You see the grandparents get older. You see some of the side characters pass away. And it was just such a good show. And I hope they do a reunion at some point. I'm kind of late to the party on Modern Family. It ended in 2020, and I'm pretty late to the party. But it was such a good show. A reunion would be great. I would love to see what the characters do, and even what the actors do in real life, and what they're part part of in the future, especially the kids who have such a big career ahead of them. Um, and then spinning it, a podcast I listened to was I was a big fan of, as you know, Stampy as a kid and Squid, who Stampy Longhead or Longnose, however you want to call him, and iBallistic Squid, who are Minecraft YouTubers, like Stampy's Lovely World and all that stuff. And I loved Minecraft YouTube at the time. This was probably about 2012 to 2016, I think. And I went back and looked around at their channels and stumbled across this YouTube channel called the Magic Animal Club. And their latest videos were podcast videos. Their latest podcast was a year ago, and then before that was like 4 years ago, and then even before that was 8 years ago. So like the last three episodes were pretty spread out. And I was kind of interested in it, so I put it on in the background while I was playing games. And I listened to all of it in about 2 weeks. They were about, I think it was 37 or 38 episodes, and it went by so quickly. It was so fun listening to them and kind of hearing their stories and kind of, you see them as an entertainer, but they're also a person. And this podcast really showed how human they are. And I thought it was extremely interesting. And some of the video games I was playing was I started up a Minecraft world on the Bedrock Edition, or Xbox Edition, whatever you want to call it, console edition, just for some old time's sake, in survival, normal. I'm not sure if I'll continue with the world now that I finished the podcast, but we'll see. I also was playing a little bit of The Sims, Sims 4, Deep Rock Galactic. I was still going through Coral Island, which I've been playing for quite a while to try and 100%. I played a little bit of TF2. I think it was on one of the chiller nights for TF2, maybe playing like Capture the Flag, just chilling, vibing. Euro Truck, whenever I just wanted to drive and listen to something and relax. And even while I was filming some of the content for the games that I played previous in my previous entries to this YouTube channel. Um, and it was such a good podcast. I've been a podcast enjoyer since 2020. I think that's when a lot of people got into podcasts, And I've listened to quite a variety of podcasts, which hopefully I'll get into in another video of all the podcasts that I've listened to. But yeah, this was just, it was nostalgic. It was, they talked about events happening at the time, and mainly filmed in 2016, I believe, through 2017, talking about all the events that were happening. And then there was even an episode in 2020, one of the more recent episodes, talking about COVID starting and their concerns. And it was so weird to look back on that going, wow, COVID started 5 years ago. And I was in that same position, and they filmed this video, and I was a previous fan, and I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about them having a podcast, or at the time I moved on from Minecraft YouTube, and I was, doing different stuff in online school as well at the time. Um, and yeah, it was just such a good retrospective on them as people, and I'm glad it's on the internet to humanize them a lot more. And they're great people. They seem to be great people, having child-friendly content and just being a good person all around. They've been pretty successful as well, so I'm sure they'll have a great rest of their life, even though they're not too popular anymore. Or maybe they'll even have a comeback at some point, which will be interesting, super interesting to see. Moving on, I've been watching through the last season of Kim Possible. I watched a while ago, and I didn't finish it, and so I kind of just jumped back into where I was, and I was at kind of like the start of season 4. And it's a great cartoon. It's a cool art style. Early 2000s life as a teen is what I'm really interested in. I love how they kind of portray that they're teens and they're superheroes, but it's this high school life and this teen life in the early 2000s. And I think it's really cool to see is a time where I was a young child where these people were in high school, which is, I guess I just recently graduated, but a similar time in my life that I am now. I love the characters. I love the goofiness of it. It's not serious. It's just fun, relaxing, enjoyable, and brings a little bit of childhood back into me. As well as I've been watching, this is going to sound funny because I'm not a big fan of reality TV, but with my mom I've been watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We just finished season 2, and season 3 is yet to come out. But it was really funny. It's all these Mormon women with traditional values that become internet personalities through TikTok, I believe, starting this thing called Mom Talk. And these girls, you kind of just see how almost like greed consumes their life, and how they are friends at the time, but their friendships are really shaky. One moment they're super friends, like let's say 2 of the girls in the group are super friends, and then next episode they hate each other, and it's that for the rest of the season. It's super weird. It's super funny, and I'm glad I'm not in a friendship like that. I really am. But I guess it kind of just shows how they become celebrities from social media, and it completely flips their life on their head, as well as their young moms. All of them are 30 or younger, and they all, pretty much all of them have 1 or more kids. Most of them have 2 kids or more, which is quite impressive for such a young age, especially in America. But I guess it depends on which part of America you're in. And it seems like in Mormon culture, it's pretty common to get married early and have kids early. So I think I would understand the show a bit more if I was part of the Mormon culture and I knew more people that were part of the Mormon, religion, society, whatever you want to call it. And I do find it really interesting. I do find the Mormon religion quite interesting, and I'd love to learn more about it. And the show taught me a good amount about it through kind of a comedic and kind of a scary light almost. And yeah, the struggles of them and their friendships and their pettiness and greed almost consuming them is a really interesting, I don't know what to call it. It's reality TV, but it's also a documentary, I think. I can't tell if they're paid to say certain things to get drama stirred up, or if they just naturally have a lot of drama in their life due to being influencers, and it's just filmed and put in even a more dramatic light with music and, the cuts and the editing. And finally, I rewatched Forrest Gump. I think I'll continue to rewatch it. I think it's my number one movie of all time. Scratch the think. It is my number one movie of all time. I don't think anything will ever change that. And yeah, I normally watch it when I'm in a bad mood, when I'm sad, when I've had a bad day, when I'm worried about my future specifically. And I watch it just to show that I'll be alright. It's a long movie, especially for the time that it was made in. It's such a good movie. The acting is amazing. The story is amazing. The music is amazing. The atmosphere of the movie is amazing. And all in all, it, that day that I kind of struggled and, wasn't as happy as I normally am, I watched it. I laid on the couch like a bum with snacks in my hand, watched it for 2 hours, and then got my head up at the credits, got my head up, turned off the TV, grabbed the Blu-ray, put it back in its case, put it back on the shelf, dusted myself off, stuck my head up high, and I knew everything was going to be alright. There's just something about that movie that compels me, even on a bad day, to be a better person and to know that I can figure this all out. And that's it for this entry. Hope to talk to you soon. Peace.